What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So the market is down a lot. I'm going to tell you why and what I am doing about it and how I am thinking about the market right now. So taking a look at the market, we know the market's down. Bitcoin is at around 113 right now, which I'll get to a little later in the video. And then I'm going to cover what's going on, revisions in the labor market, what this all means, what this means for rate cuts, and how I am seeing the market right now. So starting out here, if you opened up your phone, you saw red. Everyone's seeing red. And that's what I want to talk about first. The stock market is down 1.6%. The NASDAQ is down 2.2%. Coinbase down 16%. Tesla down 1.8%. MicroStrategy down 8.7%, right? So the entire market is down right now. Bitcoin is not in a bubble right now. It's just following the rest of the market. So Bitcoin 113, but taking a look at it a little bit zoomed out, even from the beginning of the year, it's still fine. I'm not concerned about this. ETH down to 3,500. Again, I'm not really concerned. We were just at 2,100 not too long ago. So a little bit of a pullback is totally fine in my opinion, even though it sucks, right? XRP is now below $3, which is not a lot of fun, but I'll cover what I'm going to do later in the video. So taking a look right here, I want to start out with this, because even though there can be incredible news, sometimes the market can still tank, is what we're seeing right now. So today, Scott Bessant said the U.S. has entered the golden age of crypto. Under the president, we are exploring new possibilities in decentralized computing and digital payments. Start your companies here, launch your protocols here, and hire your workers here. Let me play it.
I'm grateful to be with you all here today. America is a frontier nation. Our people have always pushed boundaries in exploration, politics, science, and technology. To be American is to be constantly moving.
Okay, so a little video. Essentially, we have had some of the best news in crypto this last 7 days, or I should say this last 14 days since the Genius Act got passed, and the price of Bitcoin is coming down, right? Larry Fink is finally saying, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin, right? So we're seeing all of this happen. We have Trump saying too late Powell is a disaster. We got to drop the rates. And then, of course, there's never a boring day in the news. Trump says, I have ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be positioned in appropriate regions around Russia. I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just not? Can we just chill, right? And here, talking about the country's jobs numbers. He's saying they're being produced by a Biden appointee and are essentially making up these numbers to make him look bad. And he wants to fire this individual. So Friday's jobs report from today showed payrolls increased 73,000 in July after the prior 2 months were revised down by nearly 260,000 jobs. In the past 3 months, employment growth has averaged a paltry 35,000, the worst since the pandemic. And Trump is going on his Truth Social saying the economy is booming and that they are playing with these numbers to make him look bad, and he wants to fire this Biden appointee. But taking a look at what Benjamin Cowan said, he says downward revisions in the labor market means Fed is more likely to cut in September. The only hurdle is the inflation data. If we get cool inflation data, then the Fed will certainly cut in September. If the inflation data comes in hot, the Fed may still cut, but the bond market would then likely revolt. So what I've been saying for a while is that most people want rates to be cut in order for the altcoin market to really, really rip, in order for people to get cheaper money to borrow money, etc. But there may need to be more bad news like fears of a recession in order for the Fed to really have the incentive beyond just Trump's pressuring him to cut, right? And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing downward revisions in labor markets, and the market, again, is not happy. The S&P down a lot, Bitcoin down a lot. We can see here September rate cut odds surged to 75% after today's labor market data. So this may be what we need, some bad news where the market responds poorly towards, and then the Fed cuts. 75% odds the Fed will cut in September. And Raoul Pal, talking about the top of the market, he thinks that it'll go until Q2 of 2026, but still too early to tell. So that's what he thinks this market will push into, Q2 of 2026. Some people think it'll happen earlier. taking a look at M2, maybe we top out below $200,000 for Bitcoin. You know, this would show around $180,000, maybe $190,000 if we continue to track this. So a little bit of grok to summarize what's going on. Basically, the labor market is cooling, like I talked about, raising recession risks. So people may be saying, oh, recession's here, right? This is bad for risk assets like stocks in the short term. However, it boosts the odds of a Fed rate cut, which could support rallies in equities and crypto medium term. And if I go back to this video here with Scott Bessant, you know, he is saying the golden age of crypto is here. Start your companies here, launch your protocols here. So at the end of the day, it's like, all right, we're seeing incredibly bullish news. The Clarity Act hasn't even been passed yet. This will give clarity and regulations for everything other than stablecoins. That should come at the end of the year. So personally, I do not think we have topped for the market. Now, taking a look right here on the Into the Cryptoverse website. If you want to get access to this, I'll include a link to this below. But I want to just focus right here on August. So Bitcoin monthly returns for August. It is one of the lowest months on average, okay? It's a negative month on average for Bitcoin for August. So if August is a bad month, it wouldn't be super concerning. September is also a bad month for Bitcoin historically. Even in 2021, Bitcoin went down in September. In 2021, it did rally really hard in August, though. So if we have a bad August for Bitcoin, it wouldn't really correlate to 2021 or 2017, where we went up 77%. Taking a look at Ethereum really quick, just for the average returns here. August is it's okay, 5.6% on average. But September is historically a pretty bad month. And then we have a good rest of the year. And there have been a lot of liquidations over the last 24 hours because people just get overhyped when things go up and then they get over bearish when things go down. Never a good idea. If you are an advanced trader and if you know how to trade and you are not going to YOLO into really irresponsible leverage trades, you can check out BTCC. All right. I use them myself. I have had no problems with them at all. It has been absolutely seamless trading on BTCC, and they have really low trading fees, up to 40% lower. So if you want to check it out, again, I'll include the link to that below where you can check out BTCC on your own. So what am I doing in this scenario? Well, I would be doing one of two things personally. I'd be buying more projects that I love or doing absolutely nothing. This is a scare that we saw today. The markets got spooked. The stock market got really spooked, right? Everyone is a little bit like, what's going on, right? What's this going to look like? Personally, I have a very strong conviction on the price of Bitcoin. You may have that same conviction on the price of Ethereum, Solana, or ETH. That's totally fine. But I know for myself where the price is going over time. I'm not concerned about these little scares, right? Remember, what was it like in April? Bitcoin dropped to $78,000. And that was a scary time. If you bought then, you are doing very well, even right now. So the scarier it gets, in my experience, it's the best time to buy. I hope you guys are doing well. Until next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.